All right. All right. Hi, guys. Hi, Sarah. How are you?
Good, how are you?
Good, good, good. Welcome to our classes. Sorry, we skipped like 2 weeks, but I had, or 3 weeks, maybe even longer, because I had a family situation. My brother passed away, so it was a little hard for me, but we're getting back on track. And today we're gonna do a little reminder what we did last time. So we sketch a denim corset with little sleevettes, I think we call them for Sarah, and we designed denim. Although we sketched the denim with like a bootleg and high-waisted, uh, in the meantime, when we were not with you guys, Sarah and we decided to develop blocks for her. So we have, that's what you see behind me. Sarah is a little overlit, but you can see the corset block and pant block. And what's the difference between block and pattern is that this is made in muslin. So muslin is like a version of cardboard. And these blocks are rigid, and that's something when we establish the fit that we want to go with, that will be signature for Sarah's brand. And made out of these approved blocks, we're gonna develop every pattern. So we have a corset that it's 7 panels, because we have one center front panels, side panel, this is princess seams, and two panels in the back. I cannot zip it because it's corsets are usually size smaller than the form, because body stretches in and out, and in order for corset to stay on the body, you made it size smaller in rigid fabric. And in stretch fabric, about 2 sizes smaller, depends on amount of stretch in the fabric. But I wouldn't recommend making any corsets or what you kids are calling these days a tube top than like 3 to 5% of stretch. When you go super stretchy, that's completely different animal, and all these curves will be irrelevant then if you do it in a knit. That you can make just straight lines and just put on a body, and it just works with your body. This is shapes are incorporated and build up architecturally into the rigid fabric. Now, we designed as well the high-waisted pen block, because when you get the high waist, you go down 2 inches and you get the mid-rise, 4 inches, you get the low rise. So you start with your high waist, establish your waist, high hip, low hip, bottom, your thighs, which is super important. And we just made it a slimmer slack, so we know how slim we can go for Sarah's company. And Sarah is curvy, so we're gonna develop for Sarah's line and her business plan a curvy girl fit, like a truly curvy, going for Latinas, going for Black girls, anybody who has proper athletic thighs and proper nice behind, either natural or you pay for it, you have space for it. And the waist is not gonna be standing out. So I have a curvy figure. I always have a problem if I fit my behind, my waist will stand out like 2-3 inches because I have small waist. So this is built up for small waist. We have 2 darts. I don't know if you can see, it's really like overlit. But so this is a block. So we're gonna take this block with the rise, because you have to establish your rise and your shapes that you like. And that block will be used by any pattern maker out there to start your pattern with. So that's gonna take less time, and you're gonna keep consistency of fit. So that's a difference between block and pattern. Is that clear and understandable?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. All right. If any of you have any questions, just send me a message on the YouTube channel, and I will try to address that too if you have any questions there. Now, we discussed with as a 2-piece. Right now, this is gonna be in denim, and the denim is gonna be elevated, and corset is gonna be lined. Jeans are not gonna have jeans details as the first round, right? So we're gonna put the slacks details on it to be more elevated, if I understood well, or that's something you're still thinking about?
Yeah.
Yeah, more elevated, right?
Yeah, for the line.
Yeah, based on the jacket you choose, because you could have chosen the standard kind of Levi's denim jacket, kind of pixie jacket, or blazer, and you want a blazer, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so we have a muslin blazer as well already ready. So we're gonna learn how to sketch this puppy. So I'm gonna put on a form and try to show you guys what fit we have here. Is that okay? I show you a blazer as well?
Yeah.
You know, even if people see it that way, you know, it's very difficult to just mimic that. Just so you know, because like developing blocks and patterns, it's like a mastery that rarely people know how to do it. Even if they do it and it's close enough, usually they fit, either you can't move your arms, or it's hiking in the front, or you get like, you know, a fabric bunching here. So they will never have your fit unless they buy your jacket, tear it apart and knock it off, which is, to me, it's criminal, but it's a very, very common practice in fashion business, unfortunately. And our work is not protected as the intellectual rights. So that's one thing to keep in mind, that you gotta keep moving and do not dwell on what people are doing or doing the same thing with you, because you can always do it better and different. And if they come and copy you constantly, that's only more power to you. That means people want what you have. So, I mean, who's been like, people, every company in America I work, everybody brings the, you know, they call it inspirational samples, but truly everybody knocks them down and just changes the fabric of button or something, but not much. So knocking off is a pandemic in fashion, unfortunately. And I wrote a blog about this. I call it it's an arrested creativity. You know, it's kind of, you know, you have arrested development, arrested creativity. Like, people are cut short to copy other people. They are not encouraged to design. And I think it's a big shame. When I moved to America and I was working for a couture line for St. John Knits, and I would bring my sketches, they were like, but where you've seen this? Do you have a tear away from magazine? How does it look like? Like, they didn't want to even produce something that someone else wasn't selling. Didn't want to take that business risk. And we're talking giant corporate company that at that time was employing about 4,000 people, if I remember well, globally. So that's how it is in business. Everybody wants to sell what it's safe, and they want to make money. No one wants to take a risk. But I encourage everybody to have at least 1 or 2 editorial pieces that you take a risk, put yourself out there into what you believe, and innovate. And maybe that editorial will not sell, but it will get your marketing going. It will get you the free press. It will get attention to your other products. So I truly believe in editorial pieces that just for magazine or for runway, and no one ever buys that, or buys some kind of washed down version of it. But it's worth it to have it. At least that's my opinion. And from my business observation in 35 years, it's just really worth it, and it works for people. So shall we start?
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. So we're gonna start. I'm gonna adjust my camera. And any questions so far?
No, I think we're good.
Okay, cool. I'm freezing. I don't know how you're wearing just a dress. You must have a nice warm house. My house is so cold and it's just freezing. So I was
Yeah.
like, what am I going to wear so I don't look weird? But, okay, so I have my paper. So I see you in a bit. Let me check if I can pull this thing and, right? You can see it?
Yes.
Okay, we can like, is this like a good, or should I try to make it like closer or something? Or this is just good?
Oh, that's perfect.
Yeah, I'm gonna sketch on this lady, or maybe on this one is a little bit, although I want a little bit of the elbow so we can see a little bit of the shape. So as we saw, I remind you guys, trying to like navigate. So we have the tube top here called corset. We're gonna skip the sleevelets for a second, because if we put the sleevelets, maybe we'll try to figure it out how to make them detachable, because those are good for summer, but you probably would not be able to put the jacket over it because it's like your movements are restricted. So we will work on this detail. Now we have this short skirt here, but just ignore the skirt and just look at the tube top. And we have the high-waisted jeans, and we're gonna put the suit over it. I mean the blazer, which is gonna be like a semi-casual but well-constructed. We have shoulder pads, we have chest pieces, which you don't have to put in a denim. I mean, I would put a little bit of support, but I think you like the shoulder, right? Of the shoulder pad.
Yeah.
I thought that was really good, and it's like structured, and we're still in kind of 90s and 80s reminiscent of the fashion cycle. So
Yeah.
is this better, this direction? Might be better to see like kind of more straighter for you. Oh, my little nosy things. Yes, and then let's put the paper over it. We're gonna, so we have our crookies. Sarah is sketching on crookies of her body, and I'm sketching on crookies of my body. So that's the thing here. Okay, so we're gonna start. I like starting my suit or blazer to marking like where I want to go. So I want definitely my shoulders be straight and a bit extended. So I'm gonna draw my armhole here and armhole here. Then I'm gonna go down the path to like semi-tight on the waist, and I mark my waist. I mark my waist on both sides, and I'm gonna go over the length here. It covers your crotch, so it's kind of like on this level and the crotch, and it's like a mid back on the back. So that's kind of my level here. Okay, so I have kind of an out frame. Can you see that, guys? I have an out frame of the bodies. I have that. Now, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna draw the closure and where I want my button to be. So I think we're gonna do one button as we have here, and it's just above the waist. So it's just somewhere here, right? So this is gonna be my, I'm gonna draw my V-neck here over. Oh my gosh, I'm drawing the men's side. It's just my dyslexia never works perfectly. I do a lot of suits for women that are on the men's side, like really men's inspired. But we're not gonna do that here. So I'm going to do this, and I'm gonna draw down. So I have V-neck and then straight down. And either we're gonna do straight or cutaway. You can draw all of these different versions. Do you see, like you can do straight down or cutaway, or like straight and rounded here? That's our more classic. Which one speaks to you, Sarah?
Maybe straight, just straight down.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll do that. just straight down and straight corners. Okay. So we have that V-neck is slightly rounded, slightly, not just sharp line, but just slightly rounded. Now I'm gonna go and do my sleeves. So you start at this point outside of the arm. Outside of the arm, you draw, and about a little bit below the wrist is a good length for like a modern sleeve. Can you see this? That's like a modern sleeve. Here is my pants. So I draw my slacks here that are kind of high-waisted and slim, but still a little bit of just so she's not completely naked. Okay, those curves. I don't like this line how it's drawing here, but we'll get a better one in a minute. Let me see where the leg sits. Okay. Okay, so we're not having her naked. This should be higher because the leg is extended. So this should be higher, this hem. I'm not gonna concentrate on pants right now. I'm just adding this so we know where it sits. That's it, what we're doing. Okay. All right, and then I'm gonna draw the sleeve to the elbow, and we have a break. So that sleeve will be shorter because you bended your arm, so you have to draw it short. Because the arm, when you bend, it just pulls the sleeve up. So it's just gonna be just above the wrist. Then I have my arm here that's gonna sit up the jacket. Now for the sleeve placket, we usually have like a, oopsie daisy. That's like a classic for button placket. I think if I can, you know what, let me take this jacket out of the form and I can show you guys details that we got to draw. Okay. So this is a sleeve placket, like a classic sleeve placket, right? Since this is modern and denim, we don't have to do 4 buttons, but we can still make them like functional, maybe 1 or 2. I think 1 is like more modern and then less fussy. What do you think? We can also skip this altogether. So when you, can you ruche your sleeves, then it's less mess.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I feel like 1 is easier, like you said.
Yeah. I really like the 1 button. It just gives you a little accent, doesn't leave the blazer. So I'm just gonna draw 1 button here and 1 button here, just outside. That's it. So we know it's there, right? Let me slim down. Where was I? Oh, somewhere here. Let me slim down this a little bit. We don't need this sleeve being so bulky, especially the denim is gonna be stretched, so the sleeve can be slimmer. And I'm gonna go now to lapel and color. So this is what I'm gonna draw right now, is this neckline, right? So we're gonna draw this is the top color. And which direction should I go? Okay, this is so hard for me. Okay, this is lapel. So this part is called lapel, this is collar. Usually under collar is like in felt, so it rolls really nicely. These pieces are not expensive, but gives that little schnit of tailoring when you have that. That rolls really nicely. We have a collar stand. We're not gonna draw this on that's like goes into flat sketches. Hold on. Will be better to see, right? So you can see the collar stand, and then the top collar and under collar is in felt.
Yeah.
And then you have top lapel and under lapel. So under lapel is just extension of the front panel, and it just rolls over. what I have stitched here, basting stitching, I have the chest piece. So you guys can see also how this is constructed when it's fully tailored. You have the chest piece that keeps that really nice and structured front so you don't have a mess there. And you have taping around the armhole for tailoring. So every armhole, each armhole is the same size. It doesn't stretch when you're sewing. And here we have like a good fat 1/2 inch shoulder pad, which gives that little nice and structured shoulders. And I like that with blazers, even when the shoulder pads goes out of style, I do at least a 1/4 shoulder pad. So you have that little elevation, because a lot of natural shoulders are either lopsided or whatnot. You know, we are not symmetrical species. So adding this little construction of the, it's built out of felt. The chest piece is built out of felt and a horsehair, and there is little white canvas. So it's really stiff and nice. See, it's a white canvas, then it's a horsehair on top. This used to be made out of horsehair, of his tail. So that's why it's called horsehair. It's no longer made out of that, it's polyester. But, and you have the felt on top of it that gives that, you know, keeps you symmetrical. Like how the men look like. Bobby, hey, please, I have a class. Can you take him, Richard? Okay. All right. Sorry about that. But notice how every man, although looks fabulous in a suit. Why do you think that is? That every man looks so symmetrical and just amazing in a suit. Although we know, because we live with them, they are not perfect. They have stomachs and, you know, love handles and God knows what. It's all that tailoring construction inside that keeps them looking fabulous. It just covers all of that and hides all the imperfections of the body. But we can make it soft and modern as well. It's up to you, Sarah, what you want to do. And let's go on drawing our lapel. So I'm going to start with top color coming out of this high neck, right? Coming from the neck. Coming from the neck. And coming to the bottom. We're going to fix this in a minute. But that's gonna be kind of my top color, right? Then I'm gonna kind of draw where I want my lapel to go, either bigger or skinnier, wherever you want it to be. And we have a peak lapel on this one. So peak lapel is something that it's a very, very slight one. You see, peak lapel goes about longer than the collar, tiny, tiny one. You can do like a regular lapel, looks like this. That's a notch lapel. Yeah. And you see, that would be like a notch lapel, right?
Okay.
But we have a peak lapel here. It's almost the same, and it's just depends what you want. There is no right and wrong. We can also do a shawl collar. Then you don't have the top collar at all. But this is what we have. So there is a line of lapel, and the seam goes the other direction, and it connects with the collar. I don't know if you can see this. Can you see this?
Yes.
Yep. Okay. So we getting there. Then when I do with the marker, you're gonna see cleaner single line. Right now, I'm just trying to make this symmetrical. So I'm doing exactly the same thing, trying to gauge on the same side. I'll draw my lapel first, right? The point seems on that. Here's the point, and here's the connection. Okay. So I got this. And that's basically it, unless you're gonna put some stitches and whatnot. So this is the outer shell, like the whole shell. Now we can talk, like discuss the details like pockets, hip pockets, and chest pockets if you want. All the standard pieces. Oh, that's the wrong guy. Okay. Okay, I'd rather had different direction, which is fine. Switch that. but it's fine the way it is. Okay. And so let me outline this, and then we will work on the, because it's a lot of lines right now. I'm going to outline and clean it up so we can see just fresh lines. So I'm going with my marker number 5. I finally got the chance to go and get new ones, so it's nice and fresh.
Yay.
Yeah, I got some fresh fresh new flomasters as well. So it's, you know, I got really tired of and finally the art store was open, so it was good. I'm really worried that we're going on the lockdown again. I really don't like it.
Yeah, it's tough.
Yeah, it is, but it's like people went, you know, voting and they got on infected. Thank God I voted via mail. I always do via mail because I don't have patience to stand in line, be honest with you. So that's me. Did you vote it, girl? Sorry, I don't want to put you on the spot.
Oh yeah, by mail.
Yeah, you were a smart one too. Yeah. For
So
years
much
since I
easier.
became a citizen, I do it by vote. I really have, you know, all my childhood, I stand in line for bread, food, and whatnot. I do not wish to stand in line ever again. So,
Yeah, it's too much.
yeah, I mean, have you ever been to the polls when you stand in line? It's so long, and it's just like, now it's not the smartest thing to do either, you know?
Yeah. Last time I did in line, it wasn't horrible. It wasn't too bad. I went at a good time, but I could imagine, you know, you do it on election day, it would be very bad.
Not only that, I think it's like it was less people to work. There was social distancing. They were going slower. So I can't only imagine how long would that take. And
Oh yeah.
it's just really, I mean, I bow to people for voting, but voting in person is really difficult. I mean, you never, because you guys don't do it, Americans don't do it on a weekend. Like in Poland, we do it on a weekend. So you have Sunday to vote. And here you have to go to work, you have to come late or do this or that. It's just really too much.
Definitely.
Yeah, and we already have jury duty and whatnot. I don't want to like miss my work or whatnot. I just don't like it.
Yeah, it's a lot.
I mean, first elections that I was ever allowed when I was 18, I actually volunteer as a, and I was after the communist collapse. So special. And I remember I cried, and we voted and we counted like by person, not even machines. We were just counting like, but it was spectacular when Lech Wałęsa became our president. It was just, you know, growing up in communism, we didn't think that will happen. So to this day, I think about it very emotionally. So I vote religiously ever since. Okay, so we have our suit, right? You have the outline. There is not much mess going on. Ooh, what happened to our camera? Why is it so out of fuzzy it is? What happened here? Are you gonna adjust? Okay, she's adjusting, she's not adjusting. Hey, it's really fuzzy, right?
Yeah, sometimes if you motion in front of the camera, it will adjust to it.
Okay, so you can see that it's like sharp now, right?
Yeah.
Or no, or semi-sharp?
It should focus. There it goes.
Okay.
It's sharp now.
So now we see it, right? Pretty much we see it. We have marked our waistlines and elbows and everything. So let's draw now our pockets. So on this particular jacket, we just have our simple hip pocket, right? With, if you put the pocket flap, so this is called pocket flap. These are welts. So you see, this is a double welt. One goes on top of the flap and one goes under. And this is like 1/4 inch. I prefer them a little bit fatter, like 3/8. I think it's more substantial for denim. Also, it's more visible. The quarter ones are good for wool. Otherwise, it's really difficult to do because denim is more beefy. And it looks like that when you have a flap out. Now, we don't have a chest pocket right here, but sometimes people have chest pockets here. But that might be too much for denim. We can also, because it's denim, do patch pockets. So whichever you like. Patch pockets are the pockets that are applied on top.
Okay.
So you tell me. So this would be a patch pocket right here. Kind of like a, this would be a patch pocket, right?
Yeah.
So I'm not sure if we want that. Since we're gonna line it as well and make it more elevated, so you going kind of Isabel Marant round, and you know, doing the denim slacks and denim blazer, and that's just classic blazer, which people are familiar with. You know, sometimes the patch pockets people can be thrown off, and we're just starting, so we don't want to you know, scare people too much, but still introduce something more elevated.
Yeah.
Maybe higher. This is a little bit too low, like somewhere here. Right? This is better. And I think that's enough. And we're gonna start drawing the back. Now we have the chest darts going here. So I'm gonna draw this chest darts here, because this particular blazer has this dart and has a side panel that goes through. So it's not a princess seam. This is not very tight and body, you know, curving, because that it's out of style right now. So it's a little bit more easygoing. And I think that's a good fit. Yeah, do you like that?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So I'm gonna go with the markers and we're gonna start drawing the, I'm gonna do the double line for the welt. And these are crookies, so nothing has to be like geometrical or like super duper, you know, technical, because that's gonna be for technical designers to do. I'm just gonna do my inseam stitch for the denim here. I'm gonna do the stitch on the on this guy, because that's gonna be my stitches. We can do some top stitch here as well, because it's a denim. That's why normally on like elevated pieces you wouldn't do the top stitching, but you know, denim can have some stitching. It keep it like more casual. That's it. That's it. We have our thing. Okay, let's go to the back. Then we're gonna color this properly. Excuse me.
Bless you.
Oh gosh, this allergy to cat. My cat,
Aww.
killing me. But I love him to death. Okay, so I'm gonna draw the back here. I'm gonna put this lady so the shoulders are matching. All right, let me get, if I can put it down, the light. Yeah, this is better, right? It's not so blasting. All right, so we're gonna do the same thing. So this is the back, right? But our jacket goes kind of, a little bit of the back is sticking out. We have the outline for the waist. Going to I'm just doing my outline frame. And doing my shoulders are extended slightly. I'm gonna put this higher than my back croquet. And outline. And the back. Now we're gonna see on the outline this from like a mid armhole from like mid armhole straight down, that little slight princess seam. That's a side panel that goes from front to back. So it looks like this. And we have, now I'm gonna draw this color here. It's kind of like a trapeze look, because it looks tighter at the neck area and longer in the bottom, and slightly curvy on both sides. Get her here. Yeah, okay, so make her jaw super long. All right, so we are here. Now I'm gonna draw the sleeves, but we have a center back seam as well. So draw this along the curve of your back, but not too much. And here is our vent. And the vent has a little seam here, right? So it's a, let me straighten this. We don't need this so curvy, but so we have a vent on the back. Single vent is easier. Double vents are popular, but they create a messy look on the back, I noticed, because they tend to split at the bottom. So because we are going as a marketing and fit direction for the curvy side, we will incorporate all the curves for the butt into this line. So we have side seam, we're gonna open up a little bit, we're gonna open at the princess seams here as well. Okay, now we can do our sleeves. And sleeve here, right? Pretty much straight here. I'm gonna draw this hands. I'm gonna draw a little pant here as well, so we're not leaving her naked. Meaning the croquis. All right, so she has slight pants here, a little bit, not much to it. I'm not paying much attention. But now for the sleeve, sleeve is a 2-panel sleeve as well. So we're gonna join from where the back princess is. We're gonna join and draw the sleeve seam. And that's where your slit is. So I'm drawing one button and a little seam. I made a mess on this side, so let me just go with and draw this seam line so you guys can see, because it's too many lines right now. I went with it's just old habits, you know. So we have less of this mess here. Kind of a bracelet sleeve, like a longer bracelet sleeve, so it's not such a long sleeve. Long sleeves were really popular at one point in the 1990s, and they were like super long and like exaggerated. Now we have the inseam stitch here going. And that's it. I don't need much space. Let me erase all of this extra lines so you can see what I've done here. Just see, there's so many lines I didn't see. I didn't do my side seam and my sleeve. It's cleaner now, right? Or it looks like tons of lines now, or it's cleaner?
Oh, it's clean, yeah.
Yeah, it's nice and clean. Okay, so you can see that this is joining, right? This princess seam with sleeve is joining, so it's nice and clean.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm gonna draw the little slit here and the button. and a button and a slit. So we have like a slight vent. It's always a little peekaboo when it's functional. It's always nicer. And let's do, because we had a top stitch, so we're gonna add top stitch here. We're gonna add top stitch along the sleeve seams and the princess seam here. We can even add top stitch on the center back if you want. It's up to you, but we have at the hem as well because it's denim. I'll leave the center back as is. What do you think?
I think it looks good without. Maybe.
Yeah, okay. Okay, it looks clean, right? We can add, since I did the hem, let's do the sleeve hem stitched as well. And it's kind of like 1.5 inches good stitch.
Yeah.
Because it gives you that vibe of denim.
Mm-hmm.
But since we're gonna line it, we don't have to use the caballo seams for it. We can use just regular stitching because you don't have to overlock or anything because you're covering this up with lining. Okay, I'm gonna add this side seam here for the jean, right? And that it's not stitched because we did on the inseam, so that's it pretty much. Yeah, and now we can color and add some third dimension to it because it's very flat and very linear right now. So when you add the 3 dimension, I like to start with my face colors, which I use the pearl white or sand white. If you want to draw a black face, like a, you know, ethnic face and the darker skin, I'm not very good at it, but there are definitely all kinds of skin tones that you can get. I'm looking for one. I had a darker tone somewhere, but hold on, maybe I can find it really fast. I don't know what I did with it. I tried to practice the darker skin tone, but I don't know where I put it. Sorry about that, guys. So I've been using this too for like a white peachy skin and kind of get still kind of sandy. So it's not super white or pinkish. It just gives you that, you know, that notification when the flash sits and where it's cut off for the rest. That's it. It's not nothing ethnic, nothing to do with anything. This is probably wider, right? This one is lighter, but it's still kind of out there. So whatever your skin preference, there's plenty of these colors. These markers are quite expensive, but they last very, very long. I still have them since 2003, I believe I got them. So gray ones run out because I use them a lot. I don't do the color for my crockies. So I'm gonna go with the lightest one first to mark my garments. Oh, this is the old one. Okay, because I got the new sets, but I don't know which one is which because they all look the same. Okay, this one is the new one, right? Yeah, look how nice and fresh it is. So I'm just gonna go over the lines with the lighter color. And then I'm gonna get 3-dimensional tone with the other ones. So, and I know with my dyslexia and this right and left, I just got front on this side and back on that side, should be vice versa, but you guys get it. You guys gonna be better than me. And remember, sketches are only to convey the message to pattern makers. We are not selling sketches. And I know there are really good artists out there whose sketches are fabulous, but designs are crappy. So it depends where you're into. I am into making clothes and making them fabulous, and sketch is just a conversational piece for me. So I don't pay too much attention. It's still a long time, takes an hour to sketch something. decent and takes about 3 hours to sketch the same thing, technical sketch, like a proper good technical sketch in Illustrator will take you about 3 hours to do it, to convey all the technical messages. And you need that only if you don't work in person with your pattern maker. If you send it to China, India, wherever, when people do not speak your language, you have to have as clean as possible. And so they can read your sketch. Nobody speaks English, you know, there's some translations, but the thing is, mind you, that translators, they are not fashion specialists. Those are people who are working in linguistics. And sometimes, you know, I don't know if I told you the story when I wanted a 4-ply silk and my translator translated into 4 layers of silk. So it's completely different thing because she didn't know what I was talking about. So 4-ply silk is a type of weave and it has completely different word in Chinese. But so I got the garment that was, and she never asked me a question because there is also, have to keep in mind that the people don't want to look stupid and they don't want to ask you questions and they trust you. I got a jacket that was made out of 4 layers of silk. It was just ridiculous. And it's like, what the hell is this? And she said, well, you said the 4-ply silk. I was like, you know, Zilly, you should have asked me. It's a weave technique and whatnot. And finally, when we went fabric shopping, when I went to China, I showed her what it is. And it was like, ah, this is this and that. I didn't know this was this word. So lesson learned. The more you sketch and the cleaner it is, the less artistic it is, the better for people. That's why technical sketches are super important. Super important. They are meticulous and it's a hard work. And, you know, sometimes designer will come, oh, you just sketch overnight. And then I see technical designers sitting in the office for hours and hours, you know, slaving and every little change. So make sure that you know what you want, so your team doesn't sit there when you go home and you enjoy your life and your designers, technical designers sit and feels like never go home. So just mind you, I'm going with the 3rd darker color, just over some design lines, so to give even more dimension. Yeah, these are not bad, you know. But like for couture houses, they have a special person who works on sketches in watercolors. So we will submit all the sketches like this, and there will be a special separate person called Illustrator, and she will transfer all different designers into one coherent sketchbook. Yeah, at St. John's we have Helen Kim. She was absolutely amazing. Ooh, this is really bleeding. This is brand new and bleeding like crazy. Sorry, this button turned out it to be crazy. Nothing I can do right now. Yeah, you see stuff like that happens and then you have to sketch everything all over again. You cannot, we're gonna leave it here. But if you have a bubble like that, there's no way you can fix it unless you put the white out and whatnot. But if you have presentation board for the owners of the company, you will have to sketch this all over again. Let me try to fix this boo-boo with the white. Let's see if I can. Oh yeah, okay, a little bit, not much. It's still a mess. We can do. Let's figure this out together. A little bit better.
Yeah.
It's here made it too, right? Okay. Right, sorry about that. I would sketch again, but we don't have that much time. So I'm gonna leave this as this. And I'm gonna do a little face color here for her. Not much, it's just like little accents, you know, kind of like Mickey Mousing that we know what we're doing. Kind of like little lips or something. And there is more color to it. Of course, you can play with it and draw her hands and whatever, the skin. We don't really need that, you know. Unless you're really working for someone else, you need this, but not when you're drawing for yourself. This is just right now, it's going overboard. And if you get to it, you will have your own techniques. This is just my technique. I like it fast. Some people pay more attention to it than I do, as I said before. So you will know what suits you, you know. If you want to pay more attention, then you will try. The watercolor is really beautiful if you know how to use it, but that's a completely different animal and unnecessary, unless you're doing like a lookbook in your illustration and sketches. But we're pretty much done here. Unless you want to do something else, we are pretty much done. What do you think, Sarah?
Yeah, it looks exactly like the blazer for sure.
Yeah, cool. Okay, we just had only like the boo-boo here for the button because my new thing just spread up into a big bulb, so I apologize for that. I'm gonna redraw this little lines. You can do whatever, but we are there. We don't need to do much more about that. So now we have like a full line, right?
Yeah.
In a way that we had this sketches, right? How do I, maybe I'll lift this, right? Now,
Careful.
no, it's just this stand is not very stable, but you can see, guys, right? Let me hold this. But now we have a small little line, really well merchandised for the denim, because we have a tube top, right? We
Yes.
can get the long or short skirt if we want to. We don't have to. We have a bottom, and we have a jacket. So we have 3 pieces that you can use vertically and separately as well. So it's well merchandised. You can add a little t-shirt that is basic, but we're not going after James Spurs customers. So let them buy t-shirts where they will, and they are everywhere. But not everyone will have the proper jacket that fits perfectly. Not everybody have the curvy fit for the denim that we're gonna make looking like a slack. So you can wear it to the office, not only on Friday, but every day pretty much. Because if you, right now the denim is PFD, right? So we can dye in any color we want. We can dye in blacks and browns and purples and pinks and whatnot. And if you keep some neutral color, like even just black and white, then you can have it this for office. And I think people are more casual these days anyway, so office wear it's different. Of course, we're gonna go to the office in a year or so, but that's how much time you need for your development, pretty much, to merchandise and get more pieces. But we can start your business with just 3 pieces and soft launch and just push that and advertise for curvy girls and start there, start fitting. Of course, the fit process is gonna take a little bit to nail it down the fit exactly, because right now it's going to fit your body for sure, but we need to have that compromise that it fits other people too, and it doesn't look weird when they put it on other bodies. So we'll have to get that compromise, that average, that happy medium between a lot of curves where they sit and when they gravitate, so it fits the customer and the body shape that we are after as a marketing. And then we're going to market this, go to the market with that. How does it sound?
That's the plan. It's such a good plan. You just know, you see it from the blueprint. You have it down. It sounds good. Yeah.
You know, it's like use this 35-year experience of mine and working for giant wealthy people, you know, big corporates like St. John Knits, like Versace, like Equipment, Lucky Brand. And there is all this, even Monique Lullier, it's just all this experience I had, and business experience as well, seeing what works, what doesn't work. What's the hurdle? Why people don't buy this? We thought this is gonna be hot, but people don't buy it, and it's because the fabric is itchy, or you know, it's too stiff, it's too flimsy, it's whatever it is. You gathering that information, that 35 years of information, is good to use it. That's why we call it a master class, because it's just like, you know, use my brain and use it. And I have experience from couture to jeans and t-shirts, guys. So the only thing I didn't make in my life was socks. So that's the only thing I haven't made, because I even made some lingerie. So, and yoga wear, and oh my God, it's just crazy what you can make in your life. So just use it, use it, use it. And it's free. So join our classes, people. Join. Submit questions, submit what you are interested in, and we will address it all. So for today, we're done, unless you have questions, Sarah.
I think that was great. Yeah.
That was great. Awesome. So I'm going to stop recording so we can be done with that part. Right? Recording.